I remember when I first saw the trailer for K-pop Demon Hunters a few months ago. I thought it looked aight. I legit went, wow, this looks like KDA if it got turned into a full-length animated movie. Which is cool and all, but at the time, the trailer didn't really get me hyped enough to look forward to it. So eventually, I just forgot about it. That is, until June 20th, when it finally came out on Netflix. And to the surprise of pretty much everybody, K-pop Demon Hunters took the internet by storm. At first, I resisted any and all temptation to watch the movie. But, just like even the Garden of Eden, curiosity eventually got the better of me. But it's okay, because Rujinu will love us for who we are, am I right? I'm the only one who loves yourself. One day, while I was bored out of my mind, I was refreshing the home button on YouTube, and I got recommended the Golden official lyric video, and because I had nothing better to do, I clicked on it. Why not? You know, let's see what everyone's been yapping about, and I was hooked immediately. This song had no business being this good, but it just is. From then on, I knew I had to watch this movie no matter what. And when I finally did, I regret being so late to the party, because this shit absolutely slaps. Like, I knew it was probably going to be good, considering Sony Pictures Animation's recent track record with these Spider-Verse films, but I never would have expected it to be critically acclaimed, universally loved, #1 movie on Netflix for weeks type shit. So let's talk about it. My name is Andre, and I still can't believe K-pop Demon Hunters is this good. To start, let's talk about the title, K-pop Demon Hunters. On one hand, the English major part of me is like, damn, they really couldn't think of a better name than that. But the more I thought about it, the more the name grew on me because it just perfectly describes the movie and it even evokes the themes of the film. Before we even press the play button, the title already sets the tone for the film. It's straightforward, knows exactly what it is, and doesn't try to pretend to be more than that. Anyways, if I were to categorize K-pop Demon Hunters, to me it's a goofy action film that incorporates a lot of K-drama tropes, usually used for comedic effects, and it does it very, very well. There are so many charming moments that are genuinely funny, especially for people who are really into Korean pop culture. But, most importantly, K-pop Demon Hunters is a musical. What? Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all. In general, I don't like musicals. You might even consider me a musical hater. Whether it's your favorite childhood TV musical of the high school variety, or it's a show on Broadway, I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry, they're just not my thing. Please don't murder me.
Brother,
But I will say that Bet On It is kinda gas, bro. It goes hard. To this point, I've only ever liked two musicals, Hamilton and Epic, both of which kind of fit a more musical theater kind of vibe. That means I've never really liked a movie that's also a musical. Well, until now. I am utterly obsessed with the music in K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's probably the main reason why I like this movie so much. And I'm gonna confess another sin. I didn't just listen to Golden. Before I even watched the movie, I already listened to the entire soundtrack. I couldn't help myself, okay? If you even take a glance at all of these goated producers, songwriters, singers, K-pop industry veterans involved in making these bangers, like of course the songs were gonna be good. The co-director of the film, Maggie Kang, said in an interview that K-pop Demon Hunters is her love letter to K-pop and her Korean roots. It encompasses and celebrates everything K-pop is, and you really get the sense of that as you watch the film. In other words, all the songs are designed to be homages to your favorite K-pop songs. And that's important because this whole movie is about K-pop. From the musical sequences in the movie being done like K-pop music videos, to the plot revolving around the life of K-pop idols on and off stage, K-pop Demon Hunters absolutely relies on you enjoying and resonating with the songs that are featured throughout the film. And the cool thing about the music is, at least in the genre of K-pop, the movie gives you a pretty diverse selection, all things considered. From rap-heavy girl crush songs, to cute dance tracks, to straight up some demonic, sell your soul to the devil type shit. Whether you're a longtime K-pop fan or you're absolutely new to the genre, I'm confident that there's at least one song in the film that you'll vibe with. Guaranteed. Speaking of music, let's talk about the main storyline of the film. And by the way, I'll be spoiling the entire film from here on out, so continue watching at your own discretion. As far as story structure goes, K-pop Demon Hunters has a fairly simple plot. Aside from Rumi being half demon, which was a nice little twist, the movie is pretty predictable and straightforward. Like I mentioned earlier, it incorporates a lot of tropes, especially in anime and K-drama, that we've all seen before.
Disgusting shit.
Including, but not limited to, having a main character with a demon inside of her, enemies to lovers, a heroic sacrifice, and defeating the big bad evil guy using the power of friendship. K-pop Demon Hunters doesn't really do anything crazy new or revolutionary with its narrative, but it doesn't have to. Instead, it takes all of these familiar tropes and uses them to effectively tell a story that takes place in its own unique cultural setting. This movie is just a lot of fun. It's very entertaining and it's easy to watch too, meaning you can just put it in the background while you do other things. By the time I'm recording this video, I'm already on like my 4th rewatch. I am not even lying. And it's as enjoyable now as it was the very first time that I watched it. The animation is also pretty f***ing amazing. Despite the film being entirely in 3D CGI, it incorporates a lot of styles that we expect from 2D animation, especially with the overly exaggerated anime facial expressions. I get so excited about the music and the funny moments that sometimes I take for granted how well animated the fight scenes are as well, using some very dynamic camera movements that accentuate the kind of moves that are only really possible in an animated film. And while it doesn't take itself too seriously, relying on a lot of comedic brevity to lighten the mood, that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have any substance either. I actually think that the movie does a great job incorporating the Rumi and Rujinu romance subplot. One, because we obviously want to ship them together, but also from a narrative point of view, it creates a bridge between the hunters and the demons. It's a very basic way to show the moral gray area, that the world isn't as simple as we first believed through our main character's eyes. Their continued nightly escapades serve as them not only trying to understand the other side, but also as a way for them to see themselves from the other person's perspective. They both challenge each other's worldview, and they eventually go on a journey not only of accepting each other, but also accepting themselves. That was a very roundabout way of me saying that the main theme of K-pop Demon Hunters revolves around identity. Specifically, it focuses on the dichotomy between shame and self-acceptance, and pretty much all of our main characters struggle with accepting their own identity because of their shame.
These are a constant reminder of my shame, a shame I can never escape. Yours are a reminder too, of a shame of your own.
Side note, I find it very interesting that shame is the word that the movie emphasizes because it seems directly tied to Korean society when it comes to these stringent collectivist expectations for how Korean persons should act or be like in any given situation. Now, I'm not Korean, so if I'm completely off base with this, please let me know in the comments. I don't want to assume or overgeneralize something that isn't part of my culture. But as a fellow Asian person,
Oh, don't say the first one, wait.
I can relate to the oppressive feeling of cultural shame and how that can force us to act in ways that aren't genuine to who we are as individuals for the sake of fitting in. And even worse, the shame can manifest into hatred and self-loathing because the society we find ourselves in or are supposed to be part of alienates us for being different.
I spent my whole life keeping this secret, this shame of what I am. And the more I hid this shame, the more it grew and grew until it started to destroy the one thing that gave me a purpose, my voice.
For example, Rumi's shame is her demonic heritage, and her refusal to show her marks to anyone manifests in her being emotionally closed off from others, that she can't even be honest with her found family in Mira and Zoe. Likewise, Mira and Zoe also have their own shame that they struggle with, either due to their unique personalities or their lack of a defined cultural background, with them having a hard time fitting in.
You're too much and not enough. You'll never belong anywhere, but I can give you a place to belong.
Now, I actually really love the dynamic between the three girls in a way that they truly feel like best friends, and the film does a great job in making us want to root for them.
They're not even that cute. They're so. They're so.
No, they're.
They're.
I'm gonna throw up.
So when the story introduces conflict between the girls, it starts to really hit some emotional heartstrings that I honestly didn't expect coming into this movie.
What are you hiding from us?
Not everything is about your insecurities, Mira.
Rumi's lie by omission culminates in the emotional turning point of the film, when the demons expose Rumi's secrets and the bond between the three girls are temporarily severed. She even confronts Jinu, who is also struggling with the shame of abandoning his family in return for a cozy life, a defining moment in his life that will haunt him forever. Though, if I had to criticize the film, I feel that the ending was way too rushed. I wanted more dialogue between Rumi, Mira, and Zoe before or even during the resolution. Like, I knew that the story was gonna end with each of our main characters learning to fully accept themselves, but I think it all happened way too fast. Yeah, cool, they sing a song which, to be fair, does address the struggle of self-acceptance, albeit in a rather vague and figurative way. Which works thematically, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't really a proper discussion unpacking the conflict that happened between them. Like Zoe said,
How could we be together if we can't tell your lies from your truths, Rumi?
in the end, it was never about the nitty-gritty details of Rumi's lie, but rather the act of lying itself and betraying the trust of her friends. And it really would have fleshed out the relationship between the three girls if there was dialogue that directly addressed what actually happened. But that's just the opinion of a 25-year-old man who is definitely overanalyzing what is ultimately a kid's movie. And I do think that the movie's simple yet heartwarming message is actually perfect for its target audience.
No. No more hiding. No more lies. Don't you get it? This is what I am.
Lastly, I want to highlight how, even though K-pop Demon Hunters is a celebration of K-pop and Korean culture, I appreciate that the movie also isn't afraid of acknowledging the toxic side of the K-pop industry.
Good thing we're taking a break.
Yeah.
For example, the film isn't afraid to show us that K-pop idols are terribly overworked,
No more relaxing time.
that they barely get any breaks between tours and comebacks, and on top of all that, they now have to hunt demons too? Like, they joke about this throughout the entire movie's runtime. Even the very last scene is about our girls wanting to finally take a break, but because they love their fans so much, they just don't.
I thought I wanted couch, but I think couch can wait.
Furthermore, the Saja boys taking advantage of and literally sucking the souls out of their fans is a metaphor for the excessive consumerism that surrounds the K-pop industry. It's a global market that makes billions of dollars year after year. And these companies know that they can charge exorbitant amounts of money because their fans will do anything, spend as much money as they can on their idols.
Oh yeah.
Totally gonna
That's
work.
totally gonna
100%.
Last but not least, there's the notion that K-pop idols have to be perfect in the eyes of their fans, and that idea is what causes the internal conflict within our main characters. In the movie, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe were indoctrinated at an early age by Celine, who, as their mentor, taught them a moral code to live by, not just as idols, but as hunters as well.
No, but that's what
Yeah,
we
no,
gotta
for
do.
sure.
We
We
gotta
have to
hide
hide
it.
it.
We gotta hide it and fix it.
They're not allowed to be vulnerable. They're not allowed to be seen as weak, unconfident, and imperfect. In other words, they're not allowed to be human. One can argue that many people treat K-pop idols in the same way. And I mean, if you just look up the word idol and see how it was originally used in our history as a human race, it all makes sense. The same goes for the word stan. Anyways, I know I'm kind of digging into the dark side of the K-pop industry right now, but remember, my point is, I really do commend K-pop Demon Hunters for showing every single aspect of the business and culture surrounding K-pop, both good and bad. Sure, the movie largely celebrates K-pop, showing how awesome it is and how it can bring people together from all over the world, but there's enough satire in the film that essentially acknowledges that all of these issues do exist, even if the film isn't outwardly criticizing them. TLDR, K-pop Demon Hunters is amazing. Go watch it. Unironically, I think it's a 10 out of 10, and it might just be my favorite movie of the year so far. And I don't know if anything else is gonna beat it. So yeah. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like and comment down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future. I usually make gaming related content, but I've been wanting to do more video essays on movies and maybe even TV shows for a while now, just expanding my repertoire. So make sure you subscribe because more videos like this are on the way on the channel for sure. Again, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
It's time to release the song.
Yes, it's finally time.
The moment we've waited for. Whoa.